For over 1,000 cycles, the galaxy had known only one truth: power belonged to the ancient races. The Zyrr Dominion ruled the eastern spiral with fleets the size of small moons. The Crystal and Keth overseers controlled the hyperlanes. The Volari Enclave possessed weapons that could fold stars into silence. Every major civilization bowed, bargained, or burned. And then there was Earth. A young, noisy world, barely a few centuries into spaceflight. No ancient relics, no living star gods, no planet-cracking superweapons. Just humans. So when the Zyrr Dominion declared that the independent trade world of Helios Reach would be annexed within 3 cycles, no one expected resistance. The Reach had no military, no ancient defense grid, only merchants, refugees, and scientists. The Galactic Council issued protests that meant nothing. The Keth recorded the invasion as an inevitable correction. The Volari bet on how long the world would last. The answer was supposed to be 6 minutes. But then, human ships appeared. Admiral Kothrex of the Zyrr Dominion watched from his command dais as his fleet assembled above Helios Reach. Thousands of war vessels, layered in rigid battle geometry, their weapons already humming with lethal certainty. "Begin planetary compliance bombardment," he ordered calmly. At once, the tactical officer froze. "Admiral, we are detecting incoming FTL disturbances." Kothrex's mandibles clicked in mild irritation. "Stragglers? Local smugglers fleeing the system?" "No, sir, the signatures are unusual. Not Dominion, not Keth, not Volari, configuration unknown." Space twisted. Light bent. And then reality tore open. Not one ship. Not 10. Thousands. They poured from hyperspace in perfect silence, sleek, dark-hulled vessels marked with white symbols no one recognized. Their formation was neither rigid nor chaotic. It flowed like a living thing, shifting, rotating, adapting in real time. A chill moved through the Zyrr bridge. "Identification?" Kothrex demanded. A second later, every channel across the system activated simultaneously. A human face filled the display's eye steady, jaw scarred, uniform simple but unmistakably military. "This is Admiral Elena Ramirez of the United Terran Starfleet." Her voice carried no threat. No arrogance. Only absolute certainty. "You are attacking a protected world." Kothrex rose to his full towering height. "Protected by whom, little mammal? You are trespassing in Dominion warfare." Admiral Ramirez didn't blink. "By us." Across the galaxy, observers tuned in. The Keth overseers, beings of living crystal and computation, predicted human extinction within 20 minutes. The Volari war scholars calculated a 97.4% failure rate for any human resistance. Even the Galactic Council prepared evacuation protocols for Helios Reach's orbiting stations. Humanity had arrived with less than 1/10 the fleet mass of the Zyrr Dominion. It should have been a massacre. Kothrex issued a dismissive signal with his claw. "Destroy them, leave the planet intact." The Zyrr fleet fired. The stars vanished behind walls of energy. Plasma lances hotter than suns streaked across the void. And then, the human formation shifted. Ships split, curved, twisted through the bombardment in ways that defied standard inertial limits. Some absorbed direct hits and didn't break apart. Others vanished in brief flashes of warped space and reappeared behind Zyrr battle lines. Zyrr targeting systems screamed in confusion. "What is happening?" Kothrex roared. The answer arrived as the first Dominion dreadnought exploded from the inside out. The Zyrr fought with overwhelming force. The Keth fought with perfect prediction. The Volari fought with ancient technology. Humans fought with adaptation. Every human ship functioned as a battlefield node, sharing data, rewriting combat algorithms mid-engagement, altering shield frequencies between shots. Their weapons weren't stronger than ancient cannons. They were smarter. Zyrr plasma bolts hit human shields at full power. Second volley, the same bolts scattered harmlessly. Human point defense cannons learned enemy firing rhythms after 3 shots. Zyrr fighters found their evasive patterns suddenly useless. Worst of all, the humans didn't fight for space dominance. They fought for control of decision-making. Zyrr command relays began dropping offline one by one. A human strike group pierced through 3 defensive layers and uploaded a ghost signal directly into the Dominion's tactical network. Suddenly, the ZYRR fleet was seeing false targets. Phantom human ships. Fake reinforcements. Delayed firing commands. Conflicting orders. Kothrex felt something he hadn't felt in centuries. Uncertainty. Admiral, the ZYRR tactical officer whispered, mandibles trembling, we have lost 72 capital ships. That is impossible. It is happening, sir. The humans are not withdrawing, they are advancing. On Helios Reach's surface, civilians watched as the sky became a living storm of light. Many wept, convinced they were witnessing their final hour. Then the ZYRR bombardment stopped. A transmission filled every public channel. Admiral Ramirez's voice echoed across the planet. Helios Reach, this is the Terran Starfleet. We are here. You are not alone. Cheers erupted in shelters. Some fell to their knees, others simply stared in disbelief. The ZYRR fleet attempted to regroup. Human ships moved in tighter. Faster. Closer. And then the humans unveiled the weapon no one expected. A pulse spread outward from the human flagship, not an explosion, not a beam. A signal. ZYRR weapons went dark. Keth observers registered mass synchronization failure across Dominion systems. Volari sensors confirmed every ZYRR reactor entered safe shutdown simultaneously. Thousands of warships drifted helplessly in space. Kothrex stared at his dead consoles. What have they done to us? The human answer arrived on open channel. We didn't disable your fleet permanently, Admiral Ramirez said. We disabled your ability to choose violence. Kothrex recoiled. You could have destroyed us. Yes, she replied calmly, but we're not here to conquer, we're here to stop a war. Across the galaxy, the ancient powers fell silent. No civilization had ever disarmed an entire invasion fleet without firing a killing blow. Kothrex bowed his massive head for the first time in his existence. What are you? He asked quietly. Admiral Ramirez's eyes softened just a little. We are what happens when a young species grows up knowing it is fragile. She gestured to the drifting ZYRR armada. You built power to dominate. We built power because we were afraid of losing everything. The ZYRR withdrew. Unconditionally. Helios Reach was free. And the galaxy was shaken. In the cycles that followed, every major power rewrote its strategic projections. The Keth determined that humans possessed the highest real-time adaptation coefficient ever recorded. The Volari war oracles predicted that within 3 centuries, humanity would surpass all ancient empires. Trade routes shifted. Defense treaties reshaped. Human diplomats were suddenly invited where once they were ignored. But the greatest change came not from fear. It came from hope. Worlds that had lived under quiet tyranny for generations began reaching out to Earth. And the humans answered. 3 years later, when the Devourer swarm emerged from the intergalactic dark creatures that consumed stars and erased civilizations, the ancient races hesitated. Their fleets were powerful. But predictable. The humans did not hesitate. The Terran Starfleet arrived first. Not as conquerors. Not as gods. But as guardians. And this time, when the galaxy watched the unforeseen unfold, they were watching humanity defend everyone. On a distant Volari world, an ancient scholar recorded the new galactic assessment. Humans do not fight to rule. They fight so others may choose their own fate. They are not the strongest. They are not the oldest. But when the impossible arrives, they will be the first to stand in its way. And across the stars, a new truth replaced the old one. When the human Starfleet arrives, the galaxy no longer braces for destruction. It braces for survival.